Hello, I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. I thought today we could talk about the sea lamprey, which is an eel-like fish, and it is a fish, not an eel, that's native to the North Atlantic, the Baltic Sea, the Western Mediterranean Sea, and the Adriatic Sea, but that has found its way into the waters of the Great Lakes. Sounds fascinating, doesn't it? Well, it is. It is. So some of you may know I did a video previously about the Great Lakes because I am originally from the great state of Michigan. And because of, researching that, I learned about the sea lamprey. Okay, so we're talking about the Great Lakes, which are around Michigan. This isn't actually the best map I have. I should have gotten a different one. But so we have Lake Huron, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan. Over here is Lake Erie. And these sea lamprey are an invasive species. And they are now found in the Great Lakes. And I am going to show you real quick how they managed that, because they are a sea creature. And let's go up to okay, here we go. So right here is Buffalo, and here's Niagara Falls. Now, in the I said it in the Great Lakes video. Is it the late 30s or early 40s, something like that? They built a canal over here, the Welland Canal. That's it, Welland. So it made it so that sea ships, or ships from the Atlantic Ocean, could come down the St. Lawrence Seaway, come down here, and go through this canal to get over to Lake Erie and be able to go to all the Great Lakes. And that bypassed the Niagara Falls. So that was the Welland Ship Canal. But that also made it so that sea lamprey had a safe passage past Niagara Falls. And I think some of them kind of rode in on, ships, whatever. Probably there was, stuff stuck to the ships. I don't really know all the details of that. But anyway, that is when they first got into the Great Lakes. So they came in this way through Lake Erie, and then they just started to proliferate in the Great Lakes. And way back in the 40s and 50s, they realized, the impact that these were having on the fish. And it was really hurting the sports fishing, the commercial fishing, the, native people's fishing. They all were like, where are our fish going? And that's when they realized that when they were catching the fish, these sea lampreys would be attached to the fish. So let me show you. I took a screenshot of a picture of some of these just so you know what we're talking about here. They're gross. Get ready. Prepare yourself. There they are, hanging off a fish. And that is what they do. They are invasive and they are predatory. And they attach to fish and suck their blood. So that's the issue with them. Now, there are other lamprey in the Great Lakes that are native species. And there's also some eel in the Great Lakes that are native, or at least one type of eel. I don't know. There's like a North American eel or something like that. So you do have to know your lamprey before you just start trying to kill them, because you should. If you're a fisher person and you catch a fish that has those on there, you gotta get rid of those things and kill them, because they are devastating to the fish in the area. So what they do, they will like swim up into streams and rivers, and that's where they go to lay their eggs. And one female lamprey can lay up to like 100,000 eggs. And I watched this video. It was on the Toronto Zoo's webpage or something. I don't really remember how I found it. I'll try to link it if I remember. And I think they said 70% of the larvae make it to adulthood. They have a pretty good average. So they go into the rivers and streams and they lay their eggs. And then these larvae come out and they kind of burrow into the dirt, the sand, the muck, the whatever you call the leaves that have fallen to the bottom, the organic material. And they just hang out there for like 5 years, just eating organic material. And at that stage, they're pretty harmless. But then, let me move this out of the way. Then they turn into their parasitic stage, and that's when they migrate downstream and eventually get into the lakes and latch onto fish, and they will spend 12 to 20 months just feeding on the blood of a fish. Ew, like so nasty. And the problem for the fish is you saw that picture where they were stuck on there like that. Well, they'll stick onto the fish with their little, and even if they were to let go, like if they were like, I'm done with this fish, they let go of it and they'll still leave like a big old, hole. This is our fish. And he's like, oh no. And here's the hole that's left behind by the sea lamprey. Well, that hole, most of the time, unfortunately, will get infected. And the fish is already worn down from having its blood sucked. And the fish dies. So it's just devastating. These things are devastating to the, fish in the area, there are perch, walleye, lake trout. There's salmon, but I think on the one video the guy said those aren't actually native, but they are in the waters. What else is there? I'm missing some stuff, but a lot of good, like a white fish, I think. Fish that people eat. People fish for fun. Anyway, so they're bad. And what's kind of incredible is the sea lamprey were saltwater, and yet they moved into the Great Lakes, and within no time they were able to adjust to the freshwater. And that's how nasty these things are. They don't care. All right. So just to show you kind of what we're talking about, I looked it up and it said that they grow to be 1 to 2.5 feet long. So let's get our little tape measure out here and see. So there's 12 inches. It won't even fit on my camera. And there's 24. Okay. Uh-oh, we're off. We'll have to go this way. And then 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I'm not going to fit, guys. Let's move our signage. So they are Even if I put it all the way across, it doesn't quite fit. That's how big these things are. They get to be like these monster nasty things. Oh my God. And then their skin, I found this old piece of, what is it, insulation for a pipe or something. Their skin has no scales on it like a fish. It's just a leathery feeling. And they've got these, big old eyeballs on each side. They have gills because they are fish. We can't see our, and so they're kind of like that. And then they have a fin like here, and I think another little fin. So that's how you can tell them from some of the other, like the eel and stuff. So if you are a person who fishes the Great Lakes and you get one of these, get rid of it, kill it. But the mouth, inside the mouth, it's like a suction cup here, and it will suction on. And then inside of there are rows of sharp teeth and a very raspy, what would be the word, like sandpaper, like tongue. So it'll suck on, and then it'll kind of shave the top off the fish with its tongue and then bite in. And then it just hangs on and sucks the blood. And the funny thing is, the guy on the Toronto Zoo's website, or YouTube, just look up sea lamprey, Toronto Zoo, I don't know. He took one out of the water, a live one, and he put it right here. And she goes, do they cling on to you easily? And he goes, I don't know, I've never tried it. And I don't know if he was joking or not, but I kind of think he wasn't. And so then he has this thing. I'm like, of all places, why would you put it right on your wrist? But so he put it on there and it's suctioned on. And he told us that it won't actually suck blood out of a human because it only likes cold-blooded animals. It doesn't drink the blood of warm-blooded animals. So he's like, they might suction on, but they're not going to actually bite you. So he leaves it on for a little while, and then he takes it off, and I'm expecting it to look like a hickey, Do people still do hickeys? Is that a thing? I don't know. It used to be. But so he takes it off, and there are all these bite marks. He's like all bit up. So I guess first, I was like, well, it has to know you're warm-blooded, right? But so I guess it bites in, it'll suck on you for a minute and go, nah, and then let go. So it's not like a leech where it'll go after humans so much. It just wants fish. Yeah, so, imagine though, something as long as this, like this long, just clinging on to a poor little trout. Although trout can get really big. That's one of the things they said, that they can eat 18 kilograms or 40 pounds of fish. Well, I tried to look up, like, how many fish is that? What does that mean? That doesn't have meaning to me. And I never did really find that. So I don't know. But basically, they're really devastating. I had this paper here because I was going to try to draw one, but I don't know how. This is the best I can do. But I will do this. Okay, so here's what they do. That's Michigan. I know the thumb's a little big. That's the way it is. Okay, and then let's pretend there's let's put a river. Where do we want to put a river? Right here. Okay, so these guys are swimming around out here in the water, sucking on, innocent fish. And then, once they're ready to spawn, they head upstream and they get into the water, the little streams or rivers. If they're little out streams, they'll go up there. And that's where they go to lay their eggs. So one female laying eggs can lay between 70 and 200,000 eggs. So imagine each one of these is laying that many eggs, and they are a lot of them, right? So if they go unchecked, you're going to have so many of these sea lamprey in the Great Lakes that every fish will be dead. Like, we will have no more freshwater fish in the Great Lakes. So what they do, and it's pretty impressive that after the impact started to happen in the 40s and the 50s, and they realized how devastating this was to the fish populations, they formed the Great Lakes fishery. It's GLFC Commission, I guess that's what it is. And the Great Lakes Fishery Commission decided we have to do something about the sea lamprey. So over the years, I think some of the things they have done is in these streams and these waterways, they use chemicals actually to kill the larvae. So they kill those with chemicals. They put in barriers before they can get upstream to prevent the adults from being able to go up into the rivers and spawn. So they add all these barriers at the beginnings of streams. Now, but you have to realize, there are streams. It's not like one stream. It's like all over the Great Lakes, you're going to have this. And down here and up here, So it's a lot of work. And then they have traps that they use to trap the actual creatures. And some kind of interesting things, like they're trying this. I didn't read a whole lot about this, so I am not educated in any way on this. But they replicate the odors that the lamprey use to communicate, so it confuses them, and they don't know where to go or what to do. How interesting is that? Oh my gosh. Science, you guys, it's awesome. What else do they do for that? I can't think of. I feel like there are other things. But basically, all these efforts have managed to reduce the population by 90%. Now they're laying this many, so you still have a lot of them out there. But 90% is pretty spectacular. Pretty spectacular. So that is keeping the fish alive. And I did see a video from a restaurant in Chicago talking about, they serve perch, and they had 3 different kinds of fish on their menu. But there was one kind they didn't have because the lamprey have just done such a number on their population. And now I forget. It might be the trout. So yeah, it's important to take care of these things. But currently, there's right now the what is the Department of what is it? Department of, I guess is part of it, government. Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting? Anyway, it's Doge. They have cut funding to the groups that deal with the sea lamprey. So I think this year they're not going to have the seasonal employees they need to, set up all this stuff to keep the lamprey from going into the rivers and streams. So that is a problem. So if you are a fisherman or a person who cares, you might, I don't know, see if you can volunteer to help set these things up. And definitely we got to worry about that, because you want to keep the Great Lakes full of fish and healthy, because that's all part of the circle of life. And these guys aren't supposed to be there. So I don't know. Is there anything else about sea lamprey? I forgot to say at the beginning, I'm not a biologist. I'm not a sea lamprey expert. It just caught my interest, and I wanted to share it with you because, oh, I forgot to show you a picture. Hold on. I have one more picture. Here's a picture from, I took a screenshot of this video so I can tell you. It is from Toronto Zoo YouTube. And here's a picture of the mouth. Look at the teeth. So it's a suction cup, and then there are all these teeth, and then that's its like raspy tongue. It's like legitimately out of a sci-fi movie. What is the creature in the sci-fi movie that like comes out and it has teeth all inside it? I can't think. Is that Predator or something? Predator, yeah. He's probably based on the sea lamprey. All right, is there anything I forgot to tell you? I can't remember. I don't think so. So, there we go. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Anyway, it's gonna be at least, let's see, you'll be 12 inches. So you'll be one of those. You'll be 2 of those. And then you'll be another half. So 30 inches. And you'll be stuck on, sucking it. Just goes. And so what you really want to do is be careful because they can bite and then cut their little stinking heads off, and that'll kill them. Actually, I don't know if this right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.5 inches. No, really like 9 inches. So this isn't even close to the size of one. They're way bigger than that. Let's see how close I can get. Trying one. Let's see. So he's got like a mouth, and then he's like eel-like down here. Gets a little bigger, and he's got a big eyeball. And they have like some kind of fin over here, and then I think maybe another little fin. And they have gills to breathe, and then they have teeth, lots of teeth. And they're usually brown or black in color, pretty dark and leathery. No scales.